He's made it clear he wants to pay off the national debt in 8 years.
Who's that?
Donald Trump.
Actually, he's kind of softening on that. According to a Fortune magazine, he said you could pay off a percentage of it now, a recently important Fortune, depending on how aggressive you want to be.
Right.
Donald says, I'd rather not be all that aggressive. I'd rather not have debt, but we're stuck with it. Yeah. If I had a choice of taking over debt-free or having $19 trillion, which is the way to go, up to 21, sure, I'd do the debt-free, but if I had my choice, I'd take the debt-free every time. But now he's saying, well, maybe we're not going to try to go after. So he's been thinking about it, and
I hope so.
He's probably agreeing with you.
Well,
you're agreeing with him.
33%.
Why would you do that?
When I heard it, I pointed it out as much as I'm a Trump fan.
Right.
33% of government spending, of GDP, is government spending. 33%. A third. 33%. A third of GDP is government spending. So every time government buys something, I know they do crazy stuff with their money, but every bit of money that they spend on whatever, the NASA mission to Hawaii or promoting cartooning in India or, how to use a lawyer, there are so many different categories of spending in the millions and billions of dollars that all of that spending would now be devoted to paying off the debt. Hence, the GDP would fall by 30%. Now, hopefully, Mr. Trump's plan would import enough jobs that the growth in the economy would exceed that. But realistically, 30% in a year, it's going to be hard. If he employs the plan of paying off the debt, we will have hard times, folks.
Hard times
they're
going to
be, but we tighten our belts for 6 or 7 years, and at the end of that period, we'll at least be leaving our children and our grandchildren a chance to survive. And the way it is now, man, they are in big, big trouble.
But even though it would drive unemployment up, but they lie about the numbers, couldn't you fire about 5 million people from the government?
Right,
and
then
use
they
that
would
money?
be on unemployment.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's true.
So then they would be on unemployment.
So you got to give it somewhere, right?
You have to couple the two.
Yeah.
So he needs strong protective tariffs that rebuild America's manufacturing base, at the same time reduce government waste and spending, and try to keep the two in line so that you don't have a recession. And if you can do that, so if you can increase productivity by 2%, and then you slash government spending by 2%, listen to me, that's then they kind of balance each other out. So the replacement for the government participating in a third of the economy is more manufacturing taking up that slack and participating in a third of the economy. I would certainly fire all the IRS agents, send them to work for the Coast Guard. Get out there, start counting these containers, do the tariffs. Yeah, you don't have to lose your job. You just go hassle people that are trying to import goods into this country and leave the typical American citizen alone, especially one that makes less than $50,000 a year. He should pay no income tax, or she. How many people out there are struggling to support a family on $50,000 a year? Single moms, single dads, individuals, and find themselves paying 20 or 30% of their gross in tax. That's ridiculous.